Yogesh Patil joining us to answer some of those. He's Director Research Oil and Gas at Dolat Capital. Yogesh, very good morning to you and thank you so much for joining us. Just your first take on some of the announcements that have been made regarding price rise, 39 rupees per cylinder increased on the 19 kilogram LPG.
So that's the monthly revisions generally happens on the commercial LPG cylinders, and that is largely in line with the Saudi propane contracted prices. So that continues. But if you look into the overall baskets of LPG consumption, so closer to 90% is the domestic household consumers, and hardly 10 to 11% is the commercial LPG consumers overall in India. So we don't think so a kind of a major impact on that side for the OMCs. But there are yesterday we have seen a major development on the gas price side, and that is on the side of the HPHT. So high pressure, high temperature, or deep water or ultra deep water gas prices ceiling is been revised upward to the $10.16 per MMBTU, which was earlier $9.87 per MMBTU. So these new ceiling will be applicable for the second half of FY 25, and we could see a kind of impact on the stock prices today. Considering that this will be a input cost of gas for the city gas distribution companies, plus the power and plus the fertilizer sector and other consumers also. So in overall, this gas price increase, I will say, would be in the range of rupees 1 per SCM. So if we deep dive into the gas sourcing baskets of these CGD companies like the IGL, Mahanagar Gas, and the Gujarat Gas. So in case of IGL, in overall, they are consuming closer to 7 to 8% of their overall gas basket as HPHT gas. So we don't see a kind of a major impact on their gas cost because that would hardly inch up by the 0.1 rupees per SCM, and they can easily manage or accommodate or adjust that gas cost to their overall gas basket. In case of Mahanagar, it is closer to 12% of their overall gas basket, that HPHT gas which they are receiving from the KGD6 field. So again, it will be a very marginal or very small hit to their margins on that side. And lastly, touching to Gujarat gas might be in the range of 5 to 10%, so same. But this could be a little bit positive for the companies which are producing the HPHT gas, like the Reliance Industries. So Reliance is, as per our knowledge, it is producing closer to 30 MMSCMD kind of gas from their KGD6 gas field, and it will be a kind of 500 crore additional EBITDA gain for the second half of FY 25. So it clearly indicates that a 3 to 4% kind of upside to their ENP EBITDA, and kind of a 0.5% kind of upside to their overall consolidated EBITDA for
Okay.
the FY 25.
So now,
Yeah.
Yogesh, just a couple of things. For one, let's talk about OMCs. What would be your call on OMCs right now? You're saying the LPG cylinder hike has not made too much of a difference because it's only on commercial, which is a smaller proportion of their entire number. Secondly, if I take into account the fact that it's widely expected there will be some cuts in retail prices of petrol and diesel ahead of state elections, what would be your take on OMCs and which one would you have a buy call on, if any?
So let me frankly tell you, two things are there. On the OMC side, today's commercial LPG cylinder price is not going to impact more on the stock price. But on the other side of the LPG, which we are consuming as a domestic household, 90% volume contribution to overall LPG sales of the OMCs. So I can say here in the second quarter for 25, the losses are still there, closer to 9 to 10 rupees per kg kind of a losses on the sale of domestic LPG cylinder, that we can say OMCs are still waiting for that kind of a subsidy reimbursement from the side of a government. That's the one thing. Secondly, right now the crude prices are $72 per barrel. Okay. OMCs are earning a supernormal gross marketing margins on the petrol and diesel. Okay, that very well known to the street, closer to 13 to 14 rupees per liter. But one should look into the integrated margins of these oil marketing companies, and these are closer to the 15 rupees per liter. And historically, it were in the range of closer to 11 to 11 and a half rupees per liter. So there is a scope to cut down the petrol and diesel prices by 4 to 5 rupees per liter. That cannot be ruled out. However, the timing, we can only gauge that we can only gauge the timing. The timing would be in the post completion of Haryana election, which is going to conclude on the 5th October.
My moot question is for somebody who's just tuning in and wants to know, because of all the decisions that have been taken, price hikes, ATF cuts, LPG cylinder hikes, etc., only in commercial, what is the net impact on businesses? Would you be constructive or negative any of those because of this?
In longer run, in longer run, we are as of now we are having a negative ratings on the oil marketing companies, BPCL, HPCL, IOCL, considering their valuations are at a peak level. Okay, that's one thing. Secondly, no one knows the timings and the integrity about how much quantum of price cuts will come. That could be a kind of a negative for the stocks in upcoming 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, or in a week. No one can gauge, but yeah, it is likely that the price cut will have a negative reactions on the stocks.
Okay, okay. Yogesh, really appreciate this. Thanks for taking the time out and being with us. Much, great having you today.